Today, Brett Wimmer and I are going to be installing some base cabinets in this kitchen renovation. Hi everybody, I'm Jim Dierdorf and this is Detroit DIY. Please take a minute and hit the like and subscribe buttons. So here's what we've got going on. We've got a rather small kitchen area. Give you a little overlay of it. We've got one cabinet going here with the vanity in it. The dishwasher will be going right here. We have two base cabinets going here. The stove will be right here. And currently we are working on installing this cabinet right now. So what we've discovered is we only have one stud right here to mount the cabinet to. So this cabinet we've already leveled. We've already got it straightened out, and I'll explain that more when we get to the other cabinets. What we have is we'll be able to put one cabinet screw or two cabinet screws right here in the stud. But for these, we're going to use these toggles. These toggles are good for 80 pounds. You can find them at any big box store. You drill a 1/2 inch hole in the wall. And they're good for up to a 2.5 inch thick surface. And being this is a plaster wall, it's extremely thick. So this is going to work out just perfect for what we need to go through this wall. So we're going to get this cabinet pulled out of the way, and we're going to get some 1/2 inch holes drilled in this wall, and we'll come back and we'll show how to insert these anchors. Okay, we've got these holes drilled. These are pointy on one end. It says that you do not have to drill a hole, that you can just use these as the cutters to drill it through the wall, but it's much easier if you drill the 1/2 inch hole. So we're going to slide it in this direction. Just push it into the wall and pull it back. And you want to make sure that it's square, so I know that it stood up in there. Now we're just going to push this kind of like a zip tie right up into the wall, just like that. We'll pull it a little bit. Then we're just going to break these off. It's installed. It's a pretty simple install. Same thing here. It's in there nice and tight. There we go. Now we'll drill the holes in the cabinet just slightly bigger than the 1/4 inch screws that are going to go through here. So we have just a little bit of wiggle room to make sure that we hit that mark. So we'll get this cleaned up, get the cabinet back in here, and show the rest of the install. Okay, we got this ready to screw in, and Brett's going to go ahead and sock some screws in this thing and get her pulled up against the wall. Then we'll check it and see what we got for level. Now we've got these from the anchors. There we have it. This one's protruding a little bit. Brett, go ahead and alright, let's get the level on here and see what we got. Sometimes the screws can move them around a little bit. Oh, and they did. We're showing just a little bit high on that corner. And let's see what we've got this way. And it moved us this way too. Okay. We're going to loosen these screws back up and kind of slide some shims around under here and see if we can't take care of what just happened. Okay, so here's what we've done. We've put some shims in through the top here, just to keep it from pulling this tight against the wall, because what it did was lifted the front of the cabinet off of the floor. So the wall is slightly on level, and the bottom of the cabinet is against the wall and the top isn't. So this is all we had to do, is loosen the screws and put a couple of shims in here and here to hold it away from the top. And as you can see, we are almost perfect front and side. That's very nice. Brett does good work. We'll get some things moved around, and then we're going to come back and we're going to show you how to get these cabinets set up over here, starting with the leveling them out. Okay, we have the other cabinet installed, ready to go. Now we're going to get started on these two. So what we're going to do first is we're going to determine what is the high spot in the floor. So we're going to get a level down here on the floor, and we're going to see that this end is high. So we want to start at the high end, which would be this cabinet right here. So we're going to get this first cabinet leveled up, and then this cabinet will have to follow suit. So we also have a little issue right here where the wall is slightly dipped in by about 3/8 of an inch or so. So the cabinets are going to have to be shimmed back here to keep them in line in the front. Because what we don't want to have happen is if the cabinets were pushed tight to the wall like this, then across the face of the cabinet we would have this, and that wouldn't be good. So we'll make sure that that doesn't happen. So that is the basic setup. So you just want to find the highest spot in the floor and start with that cabinet, and that's what we're going to do. Now the countertop is going to carry through over to the other side of this opening, 12 inches or 18 inches or something like that. So that's why we're level with this opening, or we hope to be when we're finished, really close to it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to mark our studs, and we're going to get ready to start installing these. This is the stud finder that we're going to be using, and I'll show you how it works. And sometimes they're a little temperamental and you want to run it over 2 or 3 times to make sure that you've located the stud. You also want to make sure that your batteries are good, which they are, and you can give it a little test if you want. Oh, look at that, it found a stud. Let's see if it works for Brett. Yeah, let's see.
Oh, it's working.
I don't see anything. Uh-oh. Here, you want to hold the camera, Brett? So we're just going to go right here, and we'll turn it on, and we'll slide it across the wall. And you can see in the graph that it's picking up a stud, and it's showing that as the center, very close to it. I've marked it here. So I just want to double check it, maybe even sometimes I triple check it just to make sure, because sometimes it does give a false reading. So it's as simple as that. They're usually pretty good, but sometimes a little iffy once in a while. But we're going to get these cabinets slid back up here, and we're going to show you how to get them spaced out so that you wind up with a straight front. We've got one cabinet shimmed level, and now we're going to get this second one shimmed level. I'm just going to show you what we're doing here. So what we've discovered is it's a little bit more than one shim. So we have this bottom shim stapled to the floor, especially for in the back, because that is so difficult to get that one in there and get it in place. And then we just need a little bit more to equal the height of the shims that are here. And you can see we have one full shim and a little bit of another one. Nothing is anchored in place yet, but we're getting really close to doing that here in a few minutes. So Brett's going to go ahead and cut these shims off and get them set up in there, and we'll get this cabinet set in place and see where we're at across the whole plane of both cabinets. And it's a little bit of a pain with these shims, so the best thing we can do is just like that, staple them in place so they don't move and we know they're there. We've got these cabinets set in place. We've got them shimmed up fairly decent. We're not going to mount this one to the wall just yet because we still have a little more shimming to do to get it perfect. We went ahead and clamped our square or our level onto the front of the cabinets so that we can get the front of the cabinets nice and straight with each other. Both of the cabinets are touching the wall here and on the other corner, but we have this little issue here that we spoke about earlier, and we've got a couple shims we'll put in here, and then we'll put our screw in through this top plate of the cabinet. So the cabinets are designed for the screws to go into this top area right here. Oh, I can't get my camera back there well enough to show it to you. It's about a 3-inch piece at the very top, and these cabinets did not come with anything at the bottom for mounting, so we probably won't be putting any screws at the bottom, but we will screw the two faces together. So we'll put some screws in through the side of the face into the side of the other cabinet to pull these cabinets together, and that'll hold them as one piece, and we can get some really good alignment across the front face. So we're going to go ahead and get this cabinet installed. We're going to put some screws right up here. Hopefully they're going to go into this top ledge, and we may not need to even worry about finding a stud. So we'll be back in a few. This cabinet is installed. We've got our 3 screws in right here at the top. Now what we're going to do is we're going to attach these faces together, and we've got some pilot holes drilled right here and right here and right here. So we're going to screw through this face into this one. We had a little alignment issues. We're really good right here at the top, but we are a little bit off at the bottom and in the middle. So we're going to get this one screw in. I'm going to kind of hold things in place. We're going to get one screw in, and then we're going to tap it around from there. So let me try and get you in a position where we're not in your way and you can see what's going on. Hold on, Brett. So we're going to get the screw in the top right here. Like that. Now we're going to come down here, and we still have a little gap issue right down here, so we're going to work on that a little bit. Yep, you can take it. And we're sticking out just a little bit right here, but we're in down here. So we got some little funky stuff going on. They're not the highest quality cabinets in the world.
There it is. So you can hammer that in.
Now we actually had it lined up really good a minute ago, but then when we started moving some stuff around, we kind of lost it. That's pretty good.
I'll give that one a whack. Oh yeah, perfect.
Okay, pull that tight. Alright, we got our alignment good down to about the bar of the clamp right now, so we're going to go ahead and get this screw in to hold it in place for us. And now we're going to do the same thing down here.
It wasn't enough.
At the bottom, it's perfect.
You want to try whacking it once?
A little bit down here. Go ahead, work on it. Alright, so there we have it. We're just slightly off right down here. We can sand it or plane it. It'll be hard to see. The rest of the face is really nice between the two cabinets. As far as what cracked while we were pulling on it, at this point in time, I have no idea. I do not see any split wood on the face, so I'm not sure what that was about exactly, but we'll have a look over them and see if we can see anything, because currently I see nothing. So, alright, so we've got our faces nice, we're all ready to go. We're really straight across the plane of the cabinets in this direction. from the cabinet to cabinet. So all we need to do is get this back screwed, and we're going to get a couple of shims in here and get our screws in. We'll drill a couple pilot holes along the top right here. We're going to get that done, and then we'll come back and we'll show how we're going to attach this one to the wall. Okay, we've got these shimmed and we're ready to get some screws in them. Brett's going to go ahead and pop some screws in here. I'm going to keep these shims from moving around. And we almost lost them.
Move that over a touch. There we go.
Go ahead and pull her tight right here. Give her a little more. We got a little gap right there.
I don't think that's going on.
Alright, so there we go. So we're pretty happy with what we've got here. We've got nice alignment along the faces. As you can see, we had to shim about a ½ inch off of this floor. And once the flooring goes in, then we'll go ahead and put some quarter round on there, and those gaps will all be closed up. And then it's going to have to get, because the toe kicks down here are unfinished, so we'll have to get something on them to finish them, you know, a piece of 1x oak or whatever they choose to put on there to finish those off, and then a piece of quarter round. So it's coming together real nice. We're extremely happy with our level. Looks really good. Looks really good this way. So we're between the lines. We are leaning towards the front just a tick, but it's a 1/16 of an inch, so we're not going to worry about it. So now what we need to do is get this one installed. It's going to be a pretty easy install. Just a couple of 2-3 screws to hold it against the wall, and this is the only cabinet going on this side. Other than there's going to be a little stem wall right in here somewhere next to the dishwasher to go along the other side of this dishwasher from that cabinet. So we're going to go ahead and we'll get this one installed, and we'll show you a little bit more of what we got here when we're all done. Okay, we've got the other cabinet installed right here. We've got the dishwasher kicked up next to it. I'll show you what we got going on here. So it's looking pretty good. Pretty happy with it. Dishwasher's right here. It's just going to get a small stem wall right here next to the dishwasher, so you can't see that, and it'll support the countertop. So the rest of this is all looking really good. The stove's in place. This cabinet's in place. And these are in place, looking really good. Brett's done a lot of work here, and we're just going to talk about it a little bit real quick before we end this video. And there used to be a wall right here, all the way up, over, and down through this side of the wall right here that we tore out. It was a bit of a challenge, a bit of a drywall nightmare, but we got it. More of a mudding nightmare than a drywall nightmare. And then the roof, the ceiling has this curved plaster in it. So probably our biggest challenge was curving the drywall down through here. And I'll do a video later to kind of highlight how we did that and how we mudded it and how we got the finish on it. But this all turned out really good. He's also been working hard in the bathroom. We'll show you that real quick. He's got some tile going on here. Brand new tub. Brand new tile floor. New toilet. New vanity. It's looking really good. All new drywall in here except for the ceiling. So, really nice. It's coming together really nice. It's going to make somebody a nice home. So, in regards to that, It's going to be a wrap for this time. I'd like to thank you for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Say bye, Brett.
See you later.
If you want to watch some more, click one of them 2 videos. They're going to pop up right there. Thank you, and I'd like to give a special thanks to Tony Iaconelli and Brett Wimmer. Without them, none of this could happen.